Watcha lads, welcome to Oak Swamp and part 17 of the Leaf, a ratty roadster. Music this week comes from the brilliant Mr Jim Hammond. You won't find it anywhere else.
Watcha lads.
Sunday morning, lovely and sunny. Council did a bit of work down by the end of the cart and they left me this. So I got Julian out. Good bit of exercise for me on the weekend. Okay, the reason I'm out here today, because I really should be putting the greenhouse together, is I've got a wobbly front wheel and I don't know quite which one it is, and what it's doing is making the steering shimmy at about 40. So I want to find out which one it is to start with, but I'm pretty sure it's that fella there. Do now is spin these ones up. So what I'm expecting from this is it's going to wobble all over the place. If it doesn't, I'll check the other one. This is the other side, and then we'll see what this one does now. I think once it reaches a certain speed, a certain frequency, it's wobbling around. As soon as it lifts off the ground, it lets go. There you go, both of them. So I consider what it is, these wheels were weak to start with, and well, I've been throwing this in the corners and that, it's just bent them up a little bit more. What surprises me is the Austin 10 was the biggest selling car in the 30s, bigger than the Austin 7 and all the others. Austin 10, where are all the bloody wheels? While all the wheels are off, I think I'm going to adjust up the brakes because it's pretty easy. What I got is these little adjusters here, and you just pinch them back and forward. But what I've found is I took everything off that front one and everything's too tight at that, so I'm going to go off the other front one now. So I've finished the greenhouse base, so I'm coming back out here. Right, so regarding wheels for the Leaf, I picked these two up the other day from the guy with the 12 horsepower Rover special, and they're only 20 quid, but the rims are in really good nick, and look, all the spokes seem good. I consider this is a Rudge spline, apparently, a Rudge wheel, but I think they're the same as MGB, and they do adapters from bolts to spline in MGB. I'm thinking to do that same sort of thing, because these wheels come up a lot, the splined wheels, but not the 4 studs. What I'd have to do is adapt the adapter, if you know what I mean. What I also considered with these wheels was nicking the rims and getting the rat wheels re-spoked with them, but completely different amount of spokes and everything. Got some little skinny 19s over on the land. I'm going to just go over and get one, and what I'm considering is using them. I don't know if they're going to be a bit weak. I think they're probably a bit flimsy, but I'm considering making an adapter to make them fit, but I'll go and get one. I'll show you what I mean. Right, there's some little skinny ones I was on about. I like the look of them, but they got so little spokes. 30 odd spokes on them. I like how skinny they are. But this hole's too small, so it won't even go over it. Anyway, you can see the size hole we need. And I brought a Morris wheel over. And that's exactly the same. So I think the route to go I'm not sure even if the adapter's going to make it over this, because it's pretty wide, so I'm going to take that measurement and do a little bit of research on it.
Bootleg Sal used to live across town. Love to the gal, and they closed it down. You can't get the stuff no more. Can't get the stuff no more.
Okay, so the first job I'm going to do this morning is take out all the bits of wood, finish staining them up, and then bolt it all back in again. And then I'm going to start fixing all these bits and pieces in for good.
There goes Joe with a great big knife. Someone been messing around with poor Joey's wife. You can't get the stuff no more. Can't get the stuff no more.
I've been messing around for the last couple of hours, and I've bolted all of these in, and I've bolted all the brakes in properly now. I'm ready to start actually plumbing that up. I bought some of these which are going to do this. I'm going to fix this to here, so I'm going to whack that on in a sec, and then I'm going to run some cables down there. Even though it looks like I'm going backwards, I'm moving forward quite well. Right, I'm going to cut 2 pieces of wood to go on these brackets here, put a bolt in them. Just found a bit of wood, I don't know what it's off of. Looks like it's off of a boat or something. I don't know what it's made of either, but it's a white wick. I'm going to start using wood more in my builds because I like it and I want to get better at carpentry. I used to do, you know, like household carpentry, so I was alright on that, you know, cutting roofs and stuff like that, but I've never done real proper joinery. I've done roof joints obviously, but... Right, I'm going to guess this and we'll see how far I am out. There is somewhere about there. That one's 50 mil. That one's 50 mil. Good enough. It was a lovely hard bit of wood. I'm going to fix this off on the bulkhead. That bulkhead's sort of sat in place now, and I think that's probably it. Now I've got some of these nice copper plumbing fittings to go up against the alley, so I'm going to get that tight up there and then stick a couple of them on. They're pretty soft, but as long as I can bend that into place, it'll be fine.
How you try, you can't buy, you cannot get that stuff no more.
I'm going to remake these afterwards, but I just nipped them on there a little bit. I think I'm going to solder these, but this is going to go to the alternator.
You cannot get that stuff no more.
Right, on this start handle, if you look, it's got a bit of a shoulder there, but I've got this bit of tube, it's stainless, and I think I can beat that over there and that'll give it a completely even. It just wants to be even all the way, so I'm going to give that a quick clean up and see if it found there. I got a feeling if I tap this on, right, that's with the piece in there, and you look, it's got a whole lot more less room to wiggle about, and it just goes straight in. they're messing. And being stainless, it's not going to rust. It's going to be a bit of a wearing course. I found this. What I'm going to do is drill a hole in this and then put a deep grub screw, probably thread it just straight into it. That'll stop this going back any further. Then I've just got to put a spring in there, and that's that done. I just realised something last night. I put that fuel line through there, and now this doesn't fit through. So what I'm going to do is run the fuel line through that, I think. I've been doing loads of little jobs along the way, which you're not going to see really, but it's just little finishing bits. Okay, the first job I'm going to do this morning, clean up this bracket here, because it was only just sort of got to a certain piece. Because I want this fitted completely so I can fit the rad and not think about this again. So I'm going to small it up a bit, put some holes in it. But what I'm actually also going to do is I'm going to shorten these sides and put some new holes in here, because you look, when they're sat in there, that's a good 20 mil away. Alright, if I cut 12 mil off either side and then re-drill the holes, that'll do it. What my old man used to say is you give it a little tiny one and then you can see it's right, and then you can give it a lump. Give it a little tiny one. There you go, that looks better, doesn't it? Surprising, just a little bit of trimming, flatten it off, put a bit of shape to it. It needs a little bit more off there really, but I'm not going to worry about it now. But it's absolutely solid in there. I bolted all the way around because it actually affected how the fan rotated, so I thought bolt all the way around gives it even pressure. So I'm going to test this stat out, and what I've done, I've connected it to a live which goes to this meter. Now this has got a bypass on it which is there, and you see it puts the thing up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to gently warm it up because I'm pretty sure it's a gas on there. It's pretty bloody warm. Ah, there we go. You go low and high. Well, that's really good news. As it's absolutely lagging down, and I need to be outside really, there's a little car accessory shop up the road, and I've just rung them and they sell battery cable by the foot because I can't find any. So I'm going to go and buy a few feet of that and get some oil.
Well, they call it Stormy Wednesday. Not much work done on the car.
There we go. I've been coming to this little shop since I was in my 20s, and back then used to get all the old car parts off the shelves. I was running 850s and all that, and they used to do all the wheel cylinders and stuff like that, all in little boxes. Bloke used to go out the back. It's a bit different now though.
So I thought I'd come down here, play my guitar. Thursday's raining too, Friday I'm out with my band. Heading down to Willsday, playing on New Land.
This fella, how long you been there?
32 years.
32 years. That's not quite as long as I've been. Yeah, it probably is as long as. You was a nipper, weren't you?
Yeah.
How come you look so bloody young? I was holding out for some cable because I'm sure I got some, but this was like £3 a foot. It's 25mm and 300 amp, and I bought 6 litres of that juice, and the lot come to about 50 quid, which I didn't think was too bad. Seems oil's so bloody expensive nowadays.
Call it stormy Wednesday, not much work done on the car.
So it's not giving up, so I am for today.
Not much work done on the car. Along with all the nice videos, I'm here for you playing my guitar.
Wednesday. What I've done is set this up to prove it, because I want to be absolutely sure everything works. So by rights now, if I heat this up, when it reaches whatever temperature that's at, so that just goes straight into that hose there. You just pinch that screw up where you're going to be, and that bites that there. All good. I think that's going to be reliable. I don't know so much about the radiator, so I don't know how this radiator is going to cope, because it's the best part of 100 years old, and we've got a 1980s Isuzu feeding it, which runs under pressure, and well, we'll see. I'm going to run it. Massive thanks as always this week to the dudes who went to the tip jar. Cheers boys, and they were Tim Daniels, Adam Fraser and our man Rangy Man. Also huge thanks to everyone who bought one of my t-shirts. Please don't underestimate how much it helps me out down here, because I'm getting about 50 quid for a video off of YouTube. Anyway, cheers boys. My fuse box arrived. So I've used one of these before. They got 2 little pings there, you open them up. But they're so simple and cheap. You bring your supply from your ignition to here, and then it just runs off, and you just take them off. And when your fuse goes, your little LED comes on, and it always worked on the one I had. They also run your earth onto here as well, but we're not going to be worrying about him. And I've got just a place for this, and I'm going to be doing this in a minute, because when you're doing wiring, you've got to have somewhere to go, and this facilitates that. I've also ordered some trailer cable, because I thought I'm not going to mess around. It's 7 core, and I can run one to the front, one to the back, and be done with it, as opposed to messing around with multiple orange. So in this passenger side glove box, you see, there's a little baffle what was on the fuel tank. So I'm thinking, if I make a cover for it, I can put that, all the wires can be hidden behind it. So I'm going to pull that glove box out and bring them indoors. So I've marked where I can go to, and it's just right. So I figure if I smooth that off a bit, and then make a piece that bolts in from this side, with some captive nuts on it, so you just undo them this side and it pulls out. I reckon. What do you think? This is steel, so I think I'm going to do it in steel too, because, you know, alley, steel, electrical charges. Yeah, steel. This was a failed attempt when I was repairing the quarters on the Leaf. I just didn't quite get it right with the bead roller, so this one's got a bottom bend on, which I want to keep.
I'm gonna do that. Get me a mojo hand. I'm gonna do that, babe. Get me a mojo hand. I'm gonna fix my baby so can't have no other man. Don't let your woman, boy, fix you like mine fix me. Don't let your woman now fix you like mine fix me. 'Cause she's always ready to stand down here in misery.
I've had these years and years, this book. Follow you around, don't they? I've got no clue where I got it from.
I'm gonna write a letter, babe. Telephone every town I know.
Just from this little bit out at the bottom here.
I'm gonna write a letter, babe.
2 screws in there, and that's got that tight as you want. I think I can put 1 screw there and 2 on this side.
Fix my woman so.
Blimey, sun's popped out. Right, so that's what it's going to look like. So you'll be able to just reach in and pull your fuses out, and it's out the way. Right, if you see, look, these cables are going to be coming out there, and that's not good in the glove box. So what I'm going to do is make a little cover like this that just zips over the top, put 1 bolt through it. So I'm going to clean that up, make that fit, and then put a cap on the end, drill a hole in it. There's our wire protection.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that, babe. Get me a mojo hand. I'm gonna fix my baby so can't have no other man.
Yeah, just sit over there. We'll put a little cap on this in a minute. Right, there you go, that just covers that up. I'm happy with that now. Right, I've got to fit some switches. I got these switches off a guy called Chris. So what I'm going to do is, as I haven't got any ignition switch, I'm going to just use these for the minute. I'm not entirely sure what switches or any of it I'm going to use yet, you know, with the gauges. So I'm just going to knock up a quick bracket out of that so I can screw it in there and run some cables to it. They look pretty good, don't they? Been absolutely tipping it down all morning. Good to have Jim over yesterday, so he's recorded a load more tunes. Very talented geezer, our James. Right, I'm going to start on the radiator hoses. So we must be getting close, so I'm going to chop the bottom one first because it's a piece of... Now I bought this stuff because it's, as you see, look, it's got steel in it. And it's super strong and it's super bendy. 5 1/4. And none of these are fit. These are all bit happy shopper anyway, these ones. Oof. Right, let's see what happens when I fill it up with water. There's the leak here, I forgot to put the O-ring in. There's the issue. I took the O-ring off when I welded them up. Looks like that bit with that stuff needs doing again. Water's going down. But that's another brutal day out in the rain. It's wheels day tomorrow and they forecast it to be nasty, so I'm probably going to give it a miss because I've got better things to do really. I've got to get on with this car really. I wanted to get it started and wheels day was a bit of an inconvenience anyway, and so to go down there and stand around in the rain, there you are, there's always another year. So tomorrow the first job I'm going to do is put some oil in them, and then I'm going to take that radiator out and I'm going to try and fix that leak, and then I'm going to wire it up and then I'm going to start it, and if I get along far enough I'm going to take him up the road. When the weather's like this you got no choice. Friday the sun's out. So it's been one of them weeks this week. It's been really hard to get on with anything because it's just continually raining, but having this reasonably clear day. Okay, this is a little stick I got. It's sort of like, I think it's made of fiberglass or something, but it's designed for aluminium radiators, but it's really cool stuff. But it's really easy to use. Once you get it up to temperature, it just dribbles in there. Now, on the other side of here, I filled up all 3 holes. On this side, there's only 2, so I'm considering that to be the problem. So as you heat it up, it doesn't do anything, then it does it. There it goes. Look, you watch it now. It just keep going. Go on, Bush. But you just get a little bit of heat and off it goes again. Look. I don't know what this stuff is called, but I could definitely do with a big stick of it. To be honest with you, shows aren't really my thing anymore. They used to be. I used to love it, take a car down, everyone looking at it and all that, but I prefer to be here doing my thing. I've got it all round me, and I've got it round me all the time, so I don't need to see anymore. When I go to Wheelstone, I scarcely look at any cars anyway. I just go there and chat to people. We've got a big blob on it now. I mean, it wants a little bit more blob on there as well. Looks fat now, but I don't care. It's going to stay like that. I'm not going to touch it. Yes, you are. I can't not touch it with the grinder. Let's see what it does now. Is it going to hold? Is it going to hold? There's a tiny little weeny bit coming out of there. Bumhole. I'm not taking it off again now. It can stay on there for a minute and I'll top it up. Okay, this is dry. Oh, I got a cup of tea over there. Look at this, cup of tea and a mini roll. My neighbour Baz looks after me good. So what's his name? Sent me these battery connectors, quick connectors free. Ideal. Thanks a lot, mate. Really appreciate it. And I'm going to start making this battery cable up. So what I've done is I brought a 3-core down here, And with this, I'm going to be having one as a live to the solenoid there, and then this other one will be the trip for the solenoid, and this yellow I'm going to use as the igniter from the alternator. I'm bringing them up to this panel here, which I made earlier, and we just have ignition, start, and I think it's either going to be a fan or fuel pump for a minute, but just for today. When I ordered this, I didn't get much done today. People kept arriving, but I suppose it is bank holiday, isn't it? Saturday, but it's like 4:30 in the afternoon. I've been working all day at this, and it's just been all fiddly little bits, hardly worth filming, but I think I'm ready to start. I redid that, and I've just filled it up, and it appears to be holding. I've wired the ignition up. I've run the fuel straight through this because this was leaking. Run the battery cable in, all the wires through to there. Oh, this is rubbing there, look. Let's do that fan there so big. Chilly today. Okay, I'm happy that's gonna do its job and take us up the road. To do that is clear everything out of here. I need to bolt the seat down because it's rattling like a good one. Put a bit of floor down so the pedals are in the right place, and then I've got to just finish that throttle. So I'm gonna head into that as quickly as possible. There's a little car show on up the road which I was gonna go to, but I want to drive this today. I'm only going to just take it up the road, you know, because the tyres are really savage. Right, I'm just on the throttle, and I've went and got a cable off a push bike over there. It's a bit tight in there, but it'll do for today. Now this piece came around here, so I've bent it round. And what it's going to do, I'm going to drill a hole in there, and then that'll go straight through. And then there's no cables to snarl up, and you can see it. You can see what I did at the top there with the throttle, but look. Easy, man. Right, I think that's it. I think throttle works. A little bit rattly in here.
That's so cool. She's rolling. Oh yeah. What's it feel like?
It's like a lorry.
Does it? It looks cool as hell.
First impressions, it feels like a lorry. That's what it feels like. It feels like a Ford Cargo or something. Still feels a little bit scary because the throttle is really sensitive. Do you want to come for a run? So Sassy's going to come. The boys are like that. This throttle's so delicate. Haven't tried reverse yet. There it is.
Oh, it worked.
Brakes over here. Oh, as if we've got an open can next to it. Well done, Mush. Well done, Susie. It's not even got warm yet. Is this getting warm? No, nothing's warm. It's on the button though. I think by the time everything's fine-tuned, it's going to be absolutely banging. No, that seems alright, doesn't it? How does it look?
It looks awesome.
Does
Love
it?
Yeah.
This is a pain in the arse. Get all the rest of it tight and then put a dog turd or two in there and see what that does. Because it might get it. Now, if you're wondering why I've got this big fat belt on there, on Tuesday or Wednesday I was expecting the right belt and it didn't arrive. And our mate Hank over here gave me his fan belt, but it's massive, as you can see. It's probably a 15 mil. It's only supposed to be a 10 mil on there, but for the purposes of us driving up and down the road just then, it did the job. Well, there you go. I'm pretty pleased with that. I got to drive him and he feels all right. So next time I'm going to be trying to sort this radiator out. I've been thinking about this fuel line and I think the pump really wants to go lower than the tank, so I'm thinking about moving the pump from there over to the back, and it's a bit noisy to be honest as well, so I'm going to run a new bit of copper through there. I did think about putting a pep switch to turn the fuel on and off here, so if you were in a hurry you could just wallop this throttle what it wants. If you can see, it's coming at an angle anyway, but it wants dropping down to about here. I think it would suit where the cable comes in better anyway, because that hole there is where that fuel pressure regulator was, and I think I'm going to put that in the boot as well, to be honest, because once it's set, and yeah, you know. Also I'm going to be putting the floor in, getting this all bolted in. I've got a piece to make for under here. I found this gator, wiring up into the dash, and then all that's left to do after that is welding. Just said to me these back wheels are wobbling so I'm gonna be looking out for MG adapters now, and I'm going to try and change the whole lot to splines. But if you want to see me do any of that, you're going to have to tune in next time, so make sure you get yourself subscribed. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a like and a comment. If you want to help me out, please go over to the tip jar or get yourself a lovely Oak Swamp t-shirt. Massive thanks again to Jim for all the cool tunes, and thanks for watching. I'll catch you dudes next time. Hang loose. As I didn't actually make Wheels Day, love child of James May, Neil, did this little report.
Hello. In Brian's absence, he's asked me to come to Wheels Day, so here I am, and I said I'd do some video for him on some cars and stuff and see what's here. It's grot, to be fair, but hopefully it'll be a nice day to see some nice cars. Anyway, that's that. Let's go.
Well, I do my best, what I can, but the money I make goes on my van. New brakes and tires too. I know exactly what I gotta do. Get myself a cool ride, like a second-hand T5.
Massive thanks to Tim Daniels, Adam Fraser and our man Rangy Man for going to the tip jar this week. Cheers, boys.
Can't bet on a pop-up roof. If I get tired, I can have a snooze. Get myself a cool ride, like a second-hand T5. Well, you're bound to a club with a premium attached. When you come to sell, you get your money back. Unlike a transit, so much fluctuation. 20K lost with depreciation. Get myself a cool ride, like a second-hand T5. Yeah. Drivers, you know the run. Can't bet at a pop-up roof. If I get tired, I can have myself a snooze. Get myself a cool ride, like a second-hand T5.
So I had a nice time at Wheels Day. It's loads and loads of cars and loads of people turned up, which is really good, well supported, considering the weather's rubbish. Anyway, I had a lovely time. Shane, we're here, Brian. See you soon. Back to you.
What was that joke about the ringmaster?
The ringmaster. Yes, he's in a circus, and him and his good wife, unfortunately, they can't conceive, so they decide to go to the adoption agency. And they're in the meeting, and the adoption lady comes in and she says, looking at your credentials, what makes you think that you're a perfect candidate to adopt a child? He says, well, before I was a ringmaster of this wonderful circus and all of that, he said I worked as a headmaster at a school, and for all different age ranges, he says, so I know all about maths and English and geography and various other bits and pieces like that. And she said, well, that's okay, at least the child will be educated from home. But, what happens if you're in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of a field somewhere, and the child gets ill? He says, my good lady wife, he said, she worked as a paediatrician nurse at Great Ormond Street Hospital, and which is a big child sort of like, hospital, children's hospital. And she's got all the credentials, and she knows everything from putting plasters on, taking blood, making sure that everyone's all right, He said, and she says, well, that's really good. I'll put that on your notes. What about, for exercise for the children, all that? He says, all the animals that we've got, we've rescued them from different zoos over the world and all that sort of stuff, and no longer are they mistreated. So the child will be, learning all about animal welfare and, how to sort of like, feed a bear and sort of like, how to clean a lion's feet and all these different things. And loads of sort of like areas that you can play and all that sort of stuff. And we got a massive, great big trailer. So, a big sort of like 40-foot trailer. So, it's probably enough room to swing a cat round. Not like advise it kind of thing. But, ride his bicycle round, and nice big bed, and it'll always keep warm with all the different clothing that we've got and all of that. Oh, right, she said, well, I think that's to be honest, she says, I admire your audacity, the pair of you, and I think we're going to put you straight forward to having a child. And they're like, oh, brilliant, this is wonderful, isn't it? Oh, yes, very good. She says, just one thing. She says, what age group are you looking for your child? He says, I don't mind, as long as you can fit in the cannon.